Hey, dagnabbit, I'm gonna tell all you leg humpers something. I ain't gonna never drive no 18-wheeler with no dadgum automatic transmission. That is the most ridiculous crap I ever heard in my life. All right, Boomhower. Automatic versus a manual transmission. You know, I used to have this dude work with me at one of the dealerships. The name is Carlo Lasagna. He like them Putin cars, you know, right? You know what I'm talking about. Them goddamn little old bitty 4-cylinder Japanese car with them big huge ass pipes on the back, make all that goddamn noise, but they ain't going nowhere. Yeah, that's what he goddamn like. And I'm like, dude, what the hell you want that for? You should buy something real, you know, big V8, you know, and you know, put blow on that motherfucker, get to burn some goddamn rubber. You know what I'm talking about? We used to go back and forth about manual transmission, automatic transmission. I was like, hey man, automatic transmission 100 times better than the manual transmission. He go, no, you lose too much power with an automatic. You got to have a manual. I said, hey man, you ever see a top fuel dragster go down the track like this? Fuck no. The fastest goddamn thing on the face of the earth. They don't even use no goddamn manual transmission. So today, I'm gonna tell you why. First off, I will admit, if you have 500 horsepower under the hood, I don't care what you use to get that horsepower to the wheels, you will not end up with the same. Okay, so if you start with 500 horsepower, somewhere through the drivetrain you are going to lose horsepower. Okay, and that loss is generally in the first loss is in the coupling system. Okay, and the coupling system is going to be in a manual transmission. It's going to be the clutch. In a automatic transmission, it's going to be a torque converter. And it is true that a torque converter will pull more horsepower from the engine than a clutch will. Okay. And another fact, the longer you're driving the vehicle, meaning as you begin to heat the transmission fluid in a automatic transmission, it's going to lose even more horsepower. Fact. Okay. So why does all that bullshit matters when we're talking about 18-wheelers? Because, Boomhower, I'm getting to that. You got to understand what the hell a coupling system do. Yeah. Okay? Calm your ass down. In big trucks, the coupling system forever, like we all know, has always been a manual transmission until they began to put automatic transmissions in these trucks, and they became more popular. And the reason they became more popular is because on the automotive side, fewer vehicles can even be ordered with a manual transmission. And if you're a millennial, you wouldn't know what the hell to do with a goddamn stick shift in a standard shift car. And since that's the wave of the future, oh my God, I'm so sorry for America, but because that's the wave of the future, we have to dumb things down a little bit. Put automatic transmissions in there. So they ain't going away. In fact, just about every fleet company now are using automatic transmissions. So we're going to get into some explanation now, and we're going to start by saying it properly. Automatic transmissions, meaning there's a valve body in the transmission that, under the right amount of throttle position and pressure, moves valves in the valve body of a automatic transmission, which diverts the fluid into different sections, which turns on different clutches in the automatic transmission. Basically clutches. I'm trying to make it easy. And well, they are clutches. They're just clutch packs. And then each clutch pack has a different gear ratio, which changes gears, and you don't have to do anything to it because the transmission fluid does it for you. Okay, that's in your car. In big trucks, outside of the Allison transmission, the Allison transmission is an automatic, which works like your like your car. It's a big beefed up transmission, similar to the one that GM puts in their diesel trucks, passenger car trucks. Now, I got to be honest with you, I can't tell you who all uses Allisons anymore. When they first came out, they failed miserably because they couldn't withstand the weight, and the more they pulled. Remember I told you, the more you drive an automatic transmission, the more heat it builds up. Heat steals horsepower. It also is a destroyer of parts of transmission components. So they were just doomed to fail. Okay. So just about every real trucking company now opt to use a different type of transmission, and it's not automatic. A Boomhower, it is automated. Since Boomhower didn't get out of the goddamn third grade, we're gonna let you know what automated means. Automated means there's something intervening into a self-sustaining system, basically. Okay, so instead of using the valve body and a torque converter and transmission fluid pressure to move the clutch plates inside of an automatic transmission, they take a manual transmission and automate it. Okay, they're using an outside force to work the manual transmission. So basically, Boomhower, you picture an automatic, a manual transmission with a really short stick shift, and then they put a monkey on top of it, and the monkey is pulling the stick shift when it's time, and he's pushing the clutch and moving the gears for you. All you got to do is steer. Okay, you got the scenario there, Boomhower? Now let's put a gear shifting hunk of mechanical in place of the monkey. Okay, and that's what happens. We have a manual transmission with this big hunk of metal on top of it that, it might house a little monkey inside of that shit. I don't know, but I doubt it, but there's a very real possibility. But that little thing in there is pushing a clutch, switching a gear, and then releasing the clutch and rolling on. In fact, if you were to drive a automatic, let's say Kenworth, or Freightliner, and you're in that truck, or you're running alongside of it, Boomhower. That's what you're doing. You're running alongside this truck, but you can't see inside. The windows is blacked out, okay? They probably don't want to see your ass either, but if you ran beside that truck and listened, you could not tell me if that truck was automatic or manual transmission. It's gonna go click click, click click, and when it downshift, run click click, downshift down. Okay, now if you don't know what that sound is, when you're downshifting a manual transmission, you have to rev the engine up between 10 and 12,000 or 1,200 RPMs. You can't allow it to drop below because the gears inside are going to be spinning too slow. They won't mesh when you're going down, so you cannot downshift. So you have to rev the engine and then downshift. And the automated transmission does the exact same thing. It does that because it must. It is a manual transmission with a big helper monkey on the side of it. Okay? Boomhower, you know your low IQ ass need a helper monkey, so don't act like you goddamn don't. So let me show you what we got here. This is a dark parking lot at a truck stop. That's what it looks like, just in case y'all ever wanted to know. Okay, and this happens to be my fancy Volvo truck. That spot right there is where I fell asleep and slobbered on the steering airbag. Okay, and this is where a stick shift should be. Actually, that's my junk that I just accidentally kicked my trash bag when I walked up front. And that, Boomhower, is my gear shift. Okay? And no, Boomhower, the P on that does not stand for park. These trucks don't need park. Okay? This right here, that's my park. Okay? Put it in neutral and pull them things out. Okay. Now, this truck has a, of course, I can put it in D for drive. In fact, I'm gonna hold the brake and, well, actually I cannot do it because I don't want to kick myself out. It'll jack with the Qualcomm. I'm actually on sleeper right now. So anyways, D, of course, is drive. That's all I gotta do. I just push that D and the truck will start off in a low gear, and Volvo is really good. They're better. It doesn't have the same, it doesn't have an Eaton transmission like the other guys do. And they've kind of got it down pretty good in comparison. But it'll find what it needs to pull the load I need to start the truck off. So it wants to always start off in 4th gear, but when I start giving it acceleration, it will judge the momentum and then put the truck in the right gear to get me going. Okay, so manual mode right here. See that M? Boomhower. That's manual. Manual starts with M, boom. Okay. When would I use that manual switch? A couple of reasons. When I'm going down a grade, and you don't want to use your service brake, your foot pedal, to slow the truck down on a downgrade, because you will heat the brakes up and you'll get brake fade, and eventually you'll be driving down that summit at 100 miles an hour and you have zero brake. Okay, so when I reach the apex of the mountain or hill or whatever it is, which means I'm at the top, at my almost to the crest, I'm going to put it in manual mode, and I can either, let's just say I was in, this truck's got 12 gear. Let's say if I was in 12th gear, if I pushed manual mode, I can downshift 1, 2, 3, and right here is going to begin to tell me which gear I'm going to. Once I push manual mode, I'm in full control of that transmission. It's not going to come out, okay? So I'm going to put it in probably 10th gear, so that when I go down the hill, it will be the same thing if I was in a manual transmission and drop 2 gears, and it would stay there. And because I'm in a high gear, the truck cannot physically go that, very fast. I have more control over the speed on a downgrade, and that would be truly the only reason why I would see any reason to use manual modes in one of these trucks. So let's do this. This right here. See that little engine symbol right there? A is automatic. 1, 2, 3. That's my Jake brake. Okay. And see in the steering column right there with an A in the little engine, that tells me which one I'm in. See, 1, 2, 3. That tells me how much Jake I'm adding, and I always keep it right there in A. That's automatic. And why I put it in A is because I can put the cruise on, and it won't allow the truck to go over 2 miles an hour higher than I have the cruise set. Means it will automatically Jake the engine back down. So why I'm bringing up Jake when I'm talking about a transmission is because when I use the manual mode and I'm going down a grade, the engine is revving because it wants to go a lot faster. But I don't want to use too much foot pedal, so I help the transmission by throwing that Jake down and giving it a lot of Jake to slow me down on the grade. What you don't want to do is use Jake and snow, ice, stuff like that. You just really want to rely on the lower gear and starting that downgrade at a very low rate of speed. And by the way, Boomhower, the EP right there, the E stands for extra special people. That's you. That's you, Slowpoke. Okay? Mr. I ain't gonna never drive no manual transmission. Fool, this is a manual transmission. It just got a little helper monkey on it. By the way, see if I can get some of them stars out of that. Look. 558 miles today. Remember we did 580 plus yesterday, right? All right. I throw that little bit at the end of this video. Yeah, I'm laying back. I threw that little bit at the end of this video because I want to end it by saying this. Yeah, damn. Hey man, we make our own way. People always tell me, hey, how many cents per mile you make? How many miles they give you? Look, man, I don't give a shit how many cents per mile they give you. I don't give a shit how many miles they give you if you don't run them. If you're thinking about coming into trucking, I can tell you it's very enjoyable. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm liking it, and as you can tell, I run, so I do fairly good, on pay. But if your ass is lazy, and you may not want to call yourself lazy, so maybe that might be the wrong way to get to you, okay? I'll get my message across to you by calling you lazy, even though your ass is fucking lazy. If your habits is getting out of bed at, 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon and staying up all night playing video games and shit, playing with your scooter or whatever the hell you play with, instead of taking your ass to sleep, trucking ain't gonna work for you. It truly isn't. You know, I want the best for all of y'all, but you're gonna have to want it for yourself. And it's no sense in coming out here if you're not gonna be able to make it. You have to be you have to have a lot of self-control. You have to have a lot of discipline. Nobody's here to wake you up out of the bunk. This truck runs after a 10-hour break or an 8-hour break, depending on what I need to do. What I'm telling you is, when I run out of hours, I have to stop driving. And I stopped driving with an hour and 22 minutes left on my 11. Okay, and I stopped because I was at the truck stop, and I fueled here, and there's no sense in me driving 60 more miles. So I may as well go ahead on and kill it. Okay, so I came in, I started my sleeper. Then I cooked my dinner. I'm eating, and I'm talking to y'all. Then I'm gonna go to sleep. But 10 hours and 1 minute, I'm going back on duty. Do my pre-trip, I'm gonna burn some goddamn fuel. If you can't do that, if you can't rustle your ass up out of the bed and go to work, then I really don't give a shit how many cents per mile somebody promised you. Okay, you're not gonna run them. So you want to think about this before you come out here and you know, frustrate yourself and waste a bunch of time. I know that you all can do it. I know you want to do it. You wouldn't be watching this video if you wouldn't. And I know this one's going a little bit long and I'm getting all preachy at the end and shit. But I want the best for you, man. I don't want you to come out here thinking that this is something that it's not. It's work. I mean, I'm driving. Driving is work. You know, if you don't think it is, drive. Drive 550 miles a day and see if your ass don't change your mind. It is work. You know, it's a lot involved with it, but it could be rewarding. And I just on this channel, I'm not gonna feed bullshit. I'm not gonna feed bullshit. You know, I tell you, I'm showing you. You just saw what I did. So when people tell you that Swift is bullshit, don't go to Swift, you know, damn sure don't listen to 50 tell you about Swift, he full of shit, he don't make that. You just saw it. You just saw it. And you saw it yesterday, right? 580 something miles I drove yesterday. Yeah. So when I tell you that bullshit, the hell no. I know for a fact it happens, because now I'm going to be honest with you and tell you, do I run 550 miles every day? I try to, but sometimes I have shorter loads. Okay. And that's how it works. But look, I'll tell you what, tomorrow video I'm gonna talk a little bit more about how I run that kind of miles and how I can average the amount of hours that I run. So hold me to it for tomorrow. Anyways, it's been too long. I know this video about a 30-minute. Bye, Boomhower. Crazy son bitch. Yeah, boop. Hey everybody, 50 Plus here. What do I do when my recruiter won't return my calls? They're lying to me. They don't have answers to the questions I'm asking. Problem is, once I get those questions, it's already too late. Industry standard. Once a recruiter has got you, they got you. You belong to them. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you my recruiter's information. Her name is Autumn, and if you're thinking about joining Swift, that's who I want you to contact. Give her a call. She's going to send you through the process. Eventually, you're going to wind up on a mentor's truck. When you get on that truck, you're going to be on that truck for 200 hours. For 200 hours, I want your phone in the bunk. If you're willing to do that, I'm going to send you a blue Pirate headset. You need to let Autumn know 50 Plus sent you.